My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, one often hears the complaint that Christmas has been secularized. Cards without the figure of Jesus, I might dare to say, is symptomatic of the loss of the religious dimensions of Christmas and symbolic of the Christmas celebrations where there is no place for Christ. The stark reality of the Christmas more than 2000 years ago comes alive once again. 2000 years ago, in that cold winter night, there was no room for Christ in the inn. History repeats, we say. How true! There is still no room for Christ in the inn. There is no place for Christ in Christmas cards. There is no place for Christ at Christmas. No room for God in my life. Reflecting on the phrase, there was no place for them in the inn, William Barclay observed that it is symbolic of what was to happen to Jesus. The only place where there was room for him was on the cross. He sought an entry into the overcrowded hearts of men and women. He could not find it. And still, his search and rejection go on. An important question at this Advent should be, is there room in my heart for God? The inns were not five-star hotels. They were places for the poor, as they are even today. The innkeepers, to be fair, we must admit, were not cruel or inhospitable. They just had no room left. All the rooms were already taken. It is not that any of them had anything against Joseph or Mary and Jesus, the child she was about to bring forth. However much they wanted to assist, they were helpless. Believe me, there was no malice involved in Jesus not getting a place to be born. The simple fact was that Bethlehem and all her inns in particular were overcrowded. One of them is moved, probably seeing the expectant mother. Some place is better than no place, he or she must have thought. A place in the periphery is given. The whole wide world and our large hearts are overflowing. All the available places have been occupied by riches, honor, prestige, pleasure, business affairs, etc. The signboard is out, house full. Put plainly, it's not always the case that we do not want him. Even if we want him, there is no place for him. And if we find a place for him, that can only be at the periphery, far removed from the hustle and bustle of life. Like the innkeeper, we carry on saying, there is no room. Not because we hate him. It often happens simply because our hearts are overcrowded with riches, with people we love, the things we love, honor, prestige, pleasure, business affairs. How do I crowd Jesus out of my life? Do I say by my lifestyle there is no room? I really would like to have you in my inn, but come back another day. I really would like to have you some other day when it is more convenient for me. Like the young man who said, Lord, I want to follow you, not now, but later. we show the door to Jesus. Do I say no room by my attitudes in life? Come back another day when you do not interfere with my goals and plans I have for my life. I'm sorry, but you really don't fit into my plans, maybe sometime in the future. Now, I have bought a piece of land. I have bought 5 pairs of oxen. I'm newly married, as we read in Luke chapter 14, verses 19 to 20. I will follow you, but not now. Rather, after burying my father, as we read in Matthew chapter 8, verses 21 and 22. That is, sometime later, maybe when I am old, after having done all that I have planned for me. Lord, please don't misunderstand. It is not that I do not want you. It is only that there is no time and place for you now. I shall keep the commandments. I shall be charitable, but cannot sell all that I have acquired with my hard work. Let me enjoy them, at least for some time, as we read in Luke chapter 18, verses 18 to 23, the story of the rich young man. Do I say no room by my behavior? Do my actions say no room? You would be embarrassed if you come with me today and followed me around the office or the classroom or my business. I won't be able to carry on doing what I am doing now. So don't come. Do I say no room in my thought life? Does my thinking reflect the mind of Christ? Sorry, but my mind is cluttered with lot of conflicting philosophical ideas and new age concepts. There is no room for the ethical demands of clear thinking and submission to God. I have my own way of looking at life. I have my own philosophy of life. I'm sorry. Well, dear friends, Jesus continues to find no room in many and in today, although he stands knocking at the door, as we read in the book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 20, wanting to make a permanent home in our hearts, as the Apostle Paul tells us in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 3, verse 17. He doesn't want us to wait for some more convenient time to open our hearts to him. It does not matter where we are and how we are. He wants to come into our hearts today, right now. Amen.